What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again. We got some golf going on this week. Starting on Thursday, the Honda Classic down in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. It should be a good tournament. We have a solid field here to choose from, and I'm going to narrow it down here to 6 of my favorite DraftKings picks for this week. Looking at some things like strokes gained, tee to green, approach, greens and regulation. I kind of took some of that stuff into play, and also their course history of some of these players here over the last couple years at the Honda Classic. So that's what I have for you today. Should be a good video. I normally don't do that much golf, so I'm not like I'm not like an expert here at all. For golf, I just kind of looked at the stats and see what I came up with based on the DraftKings pricing and stuff like that to get some value and some possible guys that you're not considering when filling out your lineups here. So drop a like in the video. It really helps me out here on these videos so I can keep them coming. Normally, I do basketball every single day, so if you are new to the channel, you can definitely subscribe to get more videos like this covering my DraftKings thoughts for each day and some players that I'm interested in, especially in the NBA. I do MLB and NFL as well. Maybe I'll do some more golf videos if this week turns out well. So let's just get into it. You got your first wave of players real at the top here. The 10,000 plus range, you got Ricky Fowler, Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, Sergio Garcia, and Alex Noren. The guy that really stuck out to me when I first looked at this list was Justin Thomas for whatever reason. I think the savings is nice based on compared to Rory and Ricky at the top. Ricky won the tournament last year, and normally I don't like to bank on guys winning like back-to-back years. Like we saw Adam Scott win in 2016, and he kind of had a little bit more of a disappointing appearance the next year in 2017. So I think Ricky will take kind of a step back there. And Justin Thomas, I believe he got cut last year. Yeah, he got cut last year, and he got top three, tied for third in 2016. So I think he'll bounce back here pretty nicely, and he's had a nice stretch of great golf over the last couple of months. Top 9, or tied for 9. I don't know why I keep on messing up. Last week on the Genesis Open, 83 DraftKings points there. He's definitely capable of getting a ton of birdies. On this tournament, though, is less high scoring. It's more like -8 to -12 is normally the winning score. And that's definitely something that Justin Thomas is capable of doing. I think he can pull home this tournament. At the moment, he has the second highest odds to win at 10-1 per Bovada, and his approach game is solid. 15th strokes gained on their approach, 34th tee to green. And at the tournament that I saw some comparisons to was the Sony Open in Hawaii. Finished tied for 14th in that tournament, which I'll be mentioning a lot through this video. Racked up 101 DraftKings points. Solid to see there. So I think he can have a similar performance there in the Sony and possibly even win this event, the Honda Classic. So Justin Thomas, lock him in there to your lineups. And for my second guy, a little bit down in the tier, is Tommy Fleetwood at 9,400. Very solid and consistent play over in Europe, and he got his feet wet over in the USA this past week at the Genesis Open. Not a bad showing, tied for 37th there. But at the Honda Classic here, I think his game really suits him well here. He's very good with the iron, solid numbers off the tee and tee to green. And like I said, that tournament in America, I think, will shake off some cobwebs compared to some of these more Euro players that haven't played in America yet. He's had a top 10 finish. Oh, I think he's going to have a top 10 finish here. Looking at my notes, didn't really know what I meant there. But I think he could easily get a top 10 finish at this tournament. So Tommy Fleetwood, there wasn't many numbers that really stuck out for me. But another thing is that he is the 6th highest odds to win this tournament. Looking at Bovada, 25-1, and he's not priced that way on DraftKings. He's all the way down to, let's see, probably 1, 2, 3, like 8th or so. So some good value there for Tommy Fleetwood. I think he's solid and definitely a great play in cash games because he's been so consistent. 11 out of 11 cuts made this year. So Tommy Fleetwood, definitely lock him into your lineups. And for my next guy, this guy really stood out to me the most probably of anyone. Looking at the stats for the strokes gained, tee to green and approach, 7,700. Hadley, Chesson Hadley here. He's tied for 7th. Tee to green, strokes gained, he's 2nd on the approach. Those are the two big stats I was really looking at, and he played well here in 2016 as well, tied for 21st. So Hadley, a nice little play here, I think, to save a bit of money at 7,700, so you can pay it for guys like Justin Thomas. A nice showing at the Waste Management Phoenix Open, which is a similar course to this course as well. It has the Bermuda grass, and it's not as long of a course. Some more like par 3s, par 4s in that tournament, and he definitely had some great numbers there. 20 birdies, tied for 5th. So I think he can have a nice showing here based on all the stats that correlate here in the similar tournament there in the Waste Management. So Hadley, lock him in there. One of my favorite plays of the week. And now let's get into my second kind of side here. Got to flip over the notes here for my last 3 guys. We're going to go with, never even heard of this guy, honestly, but Patton, he's having a huge year. Patton Kizzeri, however you say his last name. Excuse me, I'm probably wrong with that, but 7,300 here. I think this guy can have another great showing here. And like I said, the Sony Open is one tournament that definitely looks exactly the same. Almost the yardage is similar. The same Bermuda grass there. So he's going to be playing a similar game there. He won the tournament, so that's definitely a great sign. 22 birdies there. He racked up 136 DraftKings points in that tournament. So an insane showing there. He's having that breakthrough year. I believe he's first in the FedEx Cup points at this point right now. And his odds are pretty solid compared to some other guys at this range of 7,300. He has 50-1 odds to win. Looking at Bovada, that's like the same odds as some of these other guys up at the 8,000 range, like Tiger Woods, Kevin Kisner, I believe. Some of these other guys around the 8,000 range. So he's definitely a guy that has some value on him at 7,300. He's been scoring very well this year. He can definitely rack up some birdies. And he did well at the Waste Management as well. Like I said, a similar tournament there. He got T31. I believe he hasn't done that great here. He got a tied for 26, though, in 2016, which is solid, actually. I didn't see that. But Patton, I think he's going to have a good week here. Top 25 I'm expecting out of him, so lock him in. So we got Justin Thomas, Fleetwood, Hadley, and Patton so far for my first 4 golfers. That leaves us with 7,100 remaining per player. Another guy, this is more the course history. I've seen some other kind of narrative things that I found, but Billy Horschel here at 7,100. The last 2 years, if you look at his finishes here, he got top 4 in 2017 and top 8 in 2016. So great showings there the last 2 years at this event. And also, he was born in Florida. He went to the University of Florida, so he feels very comfortable here playing in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. He has a great approach game, suitable for this course. He gets great greens in regulation. I believe he's like around top 10 in the PGA right now. So at 7,100, a nice little value here considering what he's done here over the last few years. And some stats kind of correlate to this course. And I mentioned the Waste Management, pretty solid showing there. Tied for 43rd in that one. 67 DraftKings points. I think he can have another great showing here. If it keeps on progressing like it has the last couple years, he could finish top 2 because top 8, top 4, top 2 this time if it progresses like that. But 7,100, I think he can return some nice value here. Like I said, Florida native, feels comfortable here, it seems like, over the last 2 years. So Billy Horschel, lock him into your lineup. So that leaves us with 7,200 remaining per player. There's definitely some different options you can go here. If you want to pay for some other guys, Stewart Cink has seemed like he's going to be a pretty good cheap option here at 6,700, I believe he's at. Yeah, Stewart Cink, I've been seeing pop up some places. Another guy, Sean O'Hare, was popping up. JJ Spawn maybe, but one guy that led me to this with how this lineup kind of panned out was Chris Kirk at 7,200. I mentioned the Sony Open being similar to this, and also the Waste Management. You got a top 10 at the Sony Open, 91 DraftKings points, and the Waste Management tied for 11th there, 85 DraftKings points. So 2 courses that are very similar to this event. He did very well at 7,200. And he has one of the best approach games so far in the PGA, 16th overall, and also a solid tee to green. 2 of the things I was looking at for the strokes game, like I said, 24th there. And like I said, the Bermuda grass, similar tournaments to the Waste Management and the Sony Open. So things are kind of adding up for Chris Kirk to have a solid week. He didn't do that great in his last event. He got cut in that one to the Pebble Beach. So look for a bounce back here. He's had some time off to get ready for this event. So Chris Kirk, Let's get it done. Lock them in there. So that is it. It leaves you with exactly $0 remaining if you run out all these plays in a lineup. That's why I kind of did it like this. So you get a full lineup there. I'm not going to recommend like 3 high salary guys because that wouldn't really work out. But Justin Thomas, Tommy Fleetwood, Hadley, Patton, Billy Horschel, and Chris Kirk are my 6 guys that I'm very intrigued by. The stats kind of lead me to these guys. Like I said, the strokes gained by approach and the tee to green are 2 things you can definitely look at. Also some green in regulation because there is a lot of water at this course, and also there's less drivers being used because there's less yardage. It's only a par 70, so those are the kind of things that I put into account with this tournament. These guys kind of all fit the script of this course, and looking at those corollary courses like I mentioned with the Sony Open and the Waste Management over there in Phoenix. So that is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like on the video if you did. Sorry if I was a little bit all over the place. I don't really make that many golf videos, so this is my first time in a while kind of talking out my thoughts through golf. I did like 2 last year, I believe. I did one for the Masters. Might have done another one, but maybe not. So apologize for any issues there. I'm kind of more of just like a stat guy with golf and just kind of watch and take it in. Most of my friends don't really watch golf, so I'm not like sitting down with my friends talking it out. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Get anything out of value, you can definitely hit me up on Twitter at MoneyWebby for any questions, maybe for filling out your lineups and asking me about any other guys I might be interested in, guys you might be interested in, and we can talk it out there on Twitter. So at MoneyWebby. Drop a like in the video though if you enjoyed. Thank you so much for that, and definitely subscribe if you want to get some NBA DraftKings picks daily. I'm excited for that to be back, so good luck this week. Let's win some money, and hopefully one of these guys is a winner.